So this is our simulation interface of tensile test on mild steel. So objective of the study to study the mechanical property of mild steel specimen under tensile load. So what will be the mechanical property? The property that how the material fails, how it actually first resists its deformation and then under much more loading how it fails. Okay. So mild steel being a ductile material, it will show a good elastic and plastic zone. Therefore, it will show a very good cup and cone formation before failure. Now you can see this is the apparatus which is known as Universal Testing Machine or UTM. It is there in our lab, and you can see one dial indicator is there which will indicate the amount of load that we will actually apply, and then some scales and vernier caliper we also need to measure the diameter and the length of the specimen. See, first what we have to do step one is that measure the initial diameter of the tension test sample in two perpendicular direction using vernier caliper. So we have to measure the initial diameter. You can have a note of this. See, DIX is equal to 12.55 mm. Okay, DIX is equal to 12.55 mm. Next, this is DIY. That means we are taking data from the both the direction, from X direction also and from Y direction also. First, we are actually taking from X direction and then from Y direction. So DIY is 12.54. That means on an average you are having initial diameter of 12.55 mm. Okay, that is my initial diameter DI, that is 12.55 mm. Okay, now we have to measure the length of this shrinkage portion. So you have to just measure the length of the specimen between the grips using a steel rule. So it will be 190 mm. As per their measurement, it is 190 mm. So in our specimen in college, we will be having around 200 mm. So in this test, we will be having 190 mm of length, and then we have to, punch some marks over the 190 mm that length. Okay, and the distance between two punch marks will be 2.5 D. Okay, D is the diameter. Okay, next. So see, so 2.5 D means 2.5 and initial diameter is 12.55. So that is 31.38. That is the distance. Okay, so first punch I have done. Then we are going for the second punch. Okay, that is also successfully done. Then the third punch, it is also done. Then the fourth punch. Okay, yes, finally we have done all the four punch mark. Okay, so 2.5 into that 12.55. So that is the distance between two punch mark. Okay, now see here in between these two we have to fix the specimen. So we have to first just extend the distance between these two so that we can just insert our specimen. Okay, we have to take our specimen and we have to insert it in between them. Okay, finally we have inserted it in between these two. Now we can again lock this specimen so that we can apply our tension load. Now here we are having two extensometer reading. That means it will measure the extension, that means the tension load. Okay, so reading of dial A and B are adjusted to 0. First we have to adjust both the reading of both the extensometer in 0. So see, first we are actually adjusting this thing. Just a second. Yes, it is 0. See, and here also we have to adjust it in 0. Yes, it is also 0. That is 12 o'clock position. That is the 0 position. Okay. Next, we have to first press the green button, you can see the green button, that green button, that is exactly there in our lab also, same green and red button. Green button actually gives the, starting of this operation. Okay, and if you have to stop that operation, you have to press the red button. Okay, so first what you are doing, when you are just pressing the green button, the experiment is being conducted and the load is being applied, and then extensometer reading, that is both the things, that is actually we have calibrated in 0. Both the things will be actually in regular interval of load up to the yield point. Okay, so see, these are all the loads. You can see the simulation. This is automatically getting the data because, yes. Now you see the thing, the neck formation is actually happening. See the area reduction, gradual area reduction. Now the break, actually the braking has been done here over this portion. Okay, between these two central dot mark, punch mark. Okay, now we have to close the experiment by applying this red button. Okay, yes. Now see the data. These are all the data that you are talking about. Okay, so first we have actually first applied 0 load for the first case. So this A and B are the two extensometer readings. So for A it is 0 and it will be 0 or 0.1 near about that reading. So average is 0.1 and then ivory scale reading is 0, as I have not applied any external load. Next 2.5, the first external load, 2.5 kilonewton. For that, corresponding ivory reading, corresponding extensometer reading of the A extensometer, that is 2. For B it is 0.5. So these value actually, A and B, this value will be coming automatically. You have to only put this load, this 2.5, 5, 7.5, and the corresponding values will come automatically. You do not bother about this value. Okay, but what you have to bother, you have to do this average manually. This average means just just get the summation of A plus B and then divided by 2. You will get that average. Okay, and that ivory scale reading, that is the big scale. You can see this ivory scale, the big dial. This reading also it will come automatically against the load you have applied. Only you have to concern about the load you are applying. Do not worry about the other thing. You have to first apply the load by pressing the green button, and then you have to wait to get the extensometer reading and then ivory scale reading. When as soon as you will be getting this extensometer reading, you have to just add those two extensometer reading and get the average of these two. Means you just add it and divide it by 2. Then you will be getting around this kind of 20 data. So 10 to 20 data you have to get. Okay. So then you can download this data. I'll be sending this